This is my first time back on McGallery in Patterson Park since I was exonerated for the murder of Carlos Sawyer. He was murdered right there on that corner, right there in front of that store that used to be an old social club. That day he was murdered, my whole life changed. I'm Lamar Johnson. I'm 34 years old. I was 20 years old when I was arrested. April the 1st, 2004, I was on my way down my grandma's, coming from McDonald's. Next thing I know, I just had 2 guns in my face, and a lot of police just came from everywhere. They threw me in the car and took me to homicide. I was crying, I was telling them, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. The judge told them, y'all go back in there and deliberate some more. And they went back for 1 hour and came back. And when I seen 3 women and I seen 1 man, they was crying. And all through the trial, I felt as though they believed in my innocence. When they was crying before they read my verdict, I said, oh my God, they really found me guilty for something I didn't do. The day I was convicted, worst day of my life. I thought getting arrested for a murder I didn't have nothing to do with was the worst day of my life. But when the jury found me guilty, all the air left my body. They said your 20s is supposed to be the best years of your life. I felt as though my whole future was just snatched away from me. I got life plus 20 years for a crime I didn't do, and my life was over. Everybody else's life was still going. Everybody else was having kids, they was working, enjoying life. My life was just, it was frozen. I was sitting in the day room playing cards, and I seen a poster on the wall, Mid-Atlantic Innocence Project. And I looked at it, and I smiled when I seen it, and I said, oh, this is an innocent project, I'm innocent. You know, I need to write them.
Lamar wrote to us late 2009, and it took a few months for him to get through the screening process, but we signed on to fully investigate his case in 2010.
Parissa always told me, proving your innocence is hard. It's not easy. Then there's no DNA in my case. So she said, be optimistic, but don't get your hopes up too high, because when you sentenced to life in prison, it's hard to get your time back. But Parissa always told me she never giving up on me, and she going to get me out of here the legal way though.
It took us 7 years, and that's largely because witnesses are extremely hard to find in an old case, and also not always willing to speak to us. In this case, there was quite a lot of, we know that your client didn't do it, but we're not going to tell you exactly who did.
I could feel the momentum, and I knew I was innocent too, and I kept saying, when these prosecutors take a second look at this, they're going to realize that too. I remember getting the news that Friday. I called my mom and she was crying.
He was quiet for a minute. He like paused.
It wasn't a sad cry, it was a happy cry, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said,
You really coming home, it's over.
I couldn't sleep. I would just be laying in my bunk, smiling, sometimes crying, just like happy tears, like thinking about my first meal, thinking about hugging my mom.
Lamar Johnson taking his first steps of freedom since 2004, when he was wrongly identified as the trigger man in the fatal shooting death of Carlos Sawyer.
When I walked out that door and my feet touched the ground again, and I saw my family and everybody, I was just so happy. That feeling was so amazing, because after feeling the feeling that I felt when I got convicted and arrested, I just felt like the sun was just shining on me so bright that day. That was the best day of my life. I want to thank my mother for always having my back and believing in my innocence.
I'm just ecstatic. I don't know. I can't describe the feeling. I've never felt like this before. I'm just so proud of him. I let him know the whole time he was in how proud I was of him.
Like, man, what's up? What's his nice picture. Who's that,
Say
man?
hello. Who on there? Say this.
That day I didn't go nowhere. I just stayed in the house that day with the family. The first moment I had alone, I went into the bathroom, maybe 45 minutes. My sister and my mom, they kept checking, "You all right now? You all right?" I said, "Yes, I'm all right, Mom." I'm all right, sis. I'm just getting my thoughts together. But now I know why I was sitting in that bathroom so long, though. Because that bathroom is about the same size as that cell I was in for all those years. And it felt so comfortable, like something that I was used to. But I'm breaking myself out of that. These are old memories.
He helping to dress. Yeah, that's bone. Who he helping get dressed for graduation or something they have at the church? I mean, after school, yeah.
Oh, that's what we going past there for.
You and your cousins.
This me right here and my cousins. This me right here and my brother getting ready to go to church. My brother took me to the mall. And it was like, I was happy to be around people in society, but being around in large crowds, I didn't feel comfortable. As soon as I got my stuff, I was like ready to leave and go straight to the house. I would think that I would want to be out more, but I didn't feel comfortable that first week really going nowhere.
Don't ever leave.
I promise. If it wasn't for my mom's, I would be homeless because I don't have no credit, can't even get a job without ID. It's like you put out here with nothing. Like, okay, you was innocent, you was exonerated, but now go fix your life.
Exonerees sometimes come out of prison without a whole lot of support. Lamar is blessed because he has an extremely supportive family. That was one of my huge concerns when his mother became ill, was that I really wanted him to get exonerated and I really wanted nothing to happen to her because I wanted her to see him out of prison, but I also knew that she would be, you know, the pillar upon which he could rebuild his life.
I love you, Ma.
I love you too, Mom.
I love you. I'm so proud of you.
And I'm so glad you're home.
My mom was going through breast cancer at the time, so I was just hoping that she would be living to see me get exonerated.
He says I kept him going, but he kept me going through the whole ordeal.
There's always going to be problems in life and struggles, but we got each other to get through it.
I just had to stay strong and, you know, be there for him. He was my main reason for living, for doing treatment and all that. Because I didn't want to do the treatment. But I didn't want nothing to happen to me while he was inside. And now Lamar's home. So I'm looking forward to the holidays and all the time that we miss together. We can't make up for it, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try.
After being away from all those years, I don't take nothing for granted, especially after she went through breast cancer. Thank God they found it in the early stages. We just been enjoying our time together. She always told me she loves me. She cooks for me. We just talk. We just sit down and talk. We talk about our plans for the future. And my first Christmas. Give me another hug. Love you, Ava. I got some nieces and nephews. I want to get them some things for Christmas. I want to see their smiles on Christmas. Just be able to just be around them.
Can't beat nobody, man.
I'm looking forward to that and many more.
Like you got locked up, came home, everything was different.
Just being able to just walk around and see how everything just changed.
The parking lot, we played sports. You started quarterback too. You remember that?
I know.
Yeah.
My brother driving me around, getting some fresh air when I can. I can get fresh air whenever I want now.
What about the basketball court?
Go to church, play basketball right there in that church.
I know that may not seem like too much, but after being locked in the cage for all those years, you appreciate the smallest things.
From that day when they took him, I just always prayed he'd come back. I miss him so much. I'm just glad to have him back.
I went on a job interview. I went up there, to fill the application out. She asked what was my last job. And when I pulled the article up on my cell phone, and she was like, wow, she just I'm so sorry you had to go through that. And she hired me. I said, this would be my first job since I've been home. And I said, I'm ready to like start making my own money and like help my moms out. Going forward, I want to go to school and get my degree in business management. I want to buy into McDonald's franchise one day. And now I'm thinking about taking some classes, getting my degree in communications.
He's always had a kind heart. I'm proud of him, even with everything that he's been through, and he never ceased to amaze me. I'm proud of him.
He has an optimism and worldview that is exceedingly positive. I don't usually make promises to my clients, but something about Lamar and the timing of his mom getting sick, I made them the promise that I was going to get him out. I think he inspires that in people. I think he inspires a trust. I think he inspires, warmth. He shows his vulnerability, and I think that it's contagious.
Well, I want to be an advocate for the wrongly convicted. I want to be just a voice for him. If I could just help one person get exonerated, that would mean the world to me. Because an innocent man should never go to prison for a crime he didn't do. So that has to be fixed, so that never happens again. And the reality of it, it will happen again. Because I'm not the first person that's been exonerated, and I won't be the last.